welcome back to another episode of Talking Sports with your boy DP. And it's your boy DP right here, man. And we done had some interesting football through the first 4 weeks of this college football, man. And I do kind of want to, later on talk about the NFL a little bit, but I'm not that big of a fan of the NFL, but I do watch the NFL. When I root for the NFL, I root for Jaguars, Bucks, and the Dolphins, because I'm a true Florida boy. Y'all already know that. But let's talk about this college football, though, baby. Right now, man, this is not going to be a long show. I'm just going to talk about some of the games that I had picked from week 4. I want to just go over those games a little bit, talk about what happened, talk about was I right or wrong or not. So with that being said, so far on the season, from the picks that I did pick, and since I started, recording the picks that I picked, me personally, I'm 3-2. I got 3 right, 2 wrong so far from week 4. And the main reason why I ain't 2-2 because I'm always pick them Canes because it's all about you. So they helped me be 3-2 over 500. But with that being said, let's get into this first game I want to talk about. Clemson versus North Carolina State. Clemson win 59-35, and honestly, Clemson handled business the whole game. They looked like the better team. They was the more dominant team, and it hasn't been a good year for NC State, to be honest with you. Transfer Grayson McCall, I think he's hurt, but when he was in, he didn't look like the Grayson McCall that he looked when he was at I want to say he was at Eastern Carolina or something like that, or East Coast Carolina, something. I don't know for sure, but I know he was from there. And when he was there, he was a pretty good quarterback. He was making a lot of plays. But I don't know if it's the speed of Power 5, Power 4 football or what that he can't adjust to. But it's looking rough for NC State. And the defense can't stop anybody. Tennessee just recently put up a 50-burger on them. So, yeah, man, I don't know how good Clemson is because NC State is just so bad, to be honest with you. They haven't looked good this year. And a lot of people had them coming into this season to be, a dark horse in the ACC, but it ain't looking like that, to be honest with you. It ain't. But Clemson, Cade Klubnik, 16 for 24, 209 passing yards, and 3 passing TDs. Phil Maffa, 7 carries, 107 yards in the TD. And Cade Klubnik with 4 carries and 70 yards in the TD. It looked like Clemson starting to find his rhythm when it comes to the offense. I feel like they finally started getting in the groove, which would make them scary because, to be honest with you, Clemson defense has been good since they played Georgia. They just didn't have much help in the Georgia game. So if my Hurricanes end up having to face Clemson in the ACC championship, because I'm claiming that we going, you feel me? Hopefully we make it, but I'm claiming that we gonna make it, you feel me? Ain't no hopefully this way, because I believe we can do it. But when we do play Clemson in the ACC championship, if they make it there, because both of us got to handle business, I feel like it's going to be a good game. We ain't going to just be able to push them boys over, but I still feel like we got the better roster to get that W. But to the game we talking about, Clemson had 523 total yards of offense, which I'm not surprised. NC State haven't been able to stop no one this year. It's getting very sad because the NC State that I know, they usually have some kind of defense. Just throw that out there. But Clemson finished the game with 254 passing yards and 269 rushing yards on the day, and they was 3 of 10 on third downs. Well, NC State was playing pretty decent defense on third downs, but they really couldn't win the field position battle whatsoever. And a lot of the points that NC State did score came in garbage time. But NC State freshman quarterback C.J. Bailey from Chaminade Madonna High School down here in Florida was 16 of 25, 204 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And honestly, he had a lot of freshman mistakes, but he didn't look bad for a true freshman out there in his first start against Clemson. He didn't look that bad at all. Every freshman has his mistakes, but for the most part, he held his own. And then we got Kendrick Raphael with 10 carries, 90 yards in the Tuggy. NC State finished the day with 436 total yards of offense, 257 passing, and 179 rushing. 2 of 10 on third down though. Couldn't move the chains. What I will say with NC State, whatever positive that y'all guys can take from this game, I would take it and run with it. Because you guys did end up scoring 35 points, even though a lot of it was in garbage time. But try to use some of those schemes and some of those plays, to take advantage of it with your starters. I guess I throw that out there. And you guys were able to move the ball a little bit. You end up with 436 total yards of offense. So NC State, I just can only shake my head because this ain't the first 50 burger that NC State gave up, man. They had a lot of people fooled coming into this season, man. But also what I will say, I picked Clemson to win, but I didn't pick them to cover. I think the spread was plus 21. I picked them to win, but I didn't pick them to cover. But obviously, they covered. It looked like from what I see, they covered easily. So I was wrong as far as the cover part, but I was right as far as picking them to win. So yeah, next game we're gonna talk about is them baby lizards. I ain't even start. The Florida Gators won 45 over Mississippi State 28. So 45-28, the Florida Gators. Quarterback Graham Mertz in the game, 19 of 21, 201 yards passing for 3 passing touchdowns. What I want to say too, the Florida Gators for the rest of the year, you might as well just rock out with Graham Mertz. Let him be your starter. All this back and forth stuff that you guys are doing, don't do that. Now, if you want to get DJ Latway some looks because you know he's going to be your quarterback next year, then by all means do that. But make sure Graham Mertz is the starting guy. Make sure he's the main man. Because Florida may not be the Florida that we know, you feel me? The best of the best this year, or even mediocre. Well, honestly, I feel like they're mediocre this year. I don't feel like they just one of the worst teams in college football. I feel like they're just mediocre, and they a victim of a very tough schedule, if you want to be completely honest. Because their offense, they can move the ball, they can come up with plays to score on offense. Obviously, they scored 45 points this game, but when they start playing teams that have the athletes that they have, or athletes that's better than them, the scheme that they use is not really going to work. A lot of these top echelon SEC teams or in the other conferences, you're not going to just be able to beat them going east and west. You got to be able to get vertical a lot of times when you're playing tougher competition. And if you can't get vertical, you're going to have a tough time winning games. Luckily, they had Mississippi State, who barely been scoring all year. I want to say they 1-3 on the season. Blake Shapen, 13 of 21, 140 yards, and 1 passing touchdown. And they had total yards of 480 for the game, Mississippi State that is. And they had 240 passing and 240 rushing yards, 11 of 20 on third downs. And to be honest with you, if Mississippi State could have played a little defense, it might have been a little bit more interesting for this game. But Florida handled business, and they looked like the better team the whole game, if you want to be honest. They had 503 total yards of offense. Like I told you, the Gators can move the ball, if they scheme it up the right way, or depending on the competition, if I want to say that. They had 277 passing yards and 226 rushing yards. 6 of 9 on third downs. But I want to say Florida play UCF next weekend, and it's gonna be a interesting game. This week, I don't know who Florida got coming up. They might have a bye week this week, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm not all the way sure on that. But when they play when UCF come to town, they better be ready to stop the run. They better be able to stop the run, because you gave up 240 rushing yards to Mississippi State. You're going to have some trouble if you you let Orlando, a.k.a. UCF, come to the swamp and just run each and every way they want to, because that's what they do. They run that ball, and they got some people in that backfield that's going to be able to get loose with that thing. And now we got my boy. I'm talking about my boy. We got them UCF Trojans. I said UCF Trojans. Ha! Goop. USC Trojans lose to the Michigan Wolverines 24-27. Yeah, man. USC went out there and fumbled the bag. But what I will say, Michigan, they were the tougher team. They played tough, hard-nosed football, and they told USC this game will be won in the trenches today. And even though I'm saying this, I'm not that I'm not that upset with USC's trench play. Because honestly, how can I put this? I thought, even though I picked USC to win, I thought it would probably been more trouble for them to handle Michigan's run game than if it looked it on Saturday. But Miller Moss went out there 28 for 51, 283 passing yards, 3 touchdowns and an interception. Costly interception. The interception killed USC. If they didn't throw that interception, USC definitely would have won the game. Because all you really had to do was load up the box and tackle people. And missed tackles killed USC also in this game. Michigan ran the ball any way they wanted, all up and down the field. Missed tackles killed USC, especially the last play when my boy Mulligans had broke, I want to say damn near for 50 yards to put Michigan in scoring position. The defender for USC literally had the man wrapped up, and this guy just broke free and took that thing to the crib. That's why your coach always preaching game tackling. All hats to the football, all helmets to the football. If they was game tackling and had all helmets to the football, that play wouldn't happen, and there would have been no guarantee that Michigan would have pulled out this win. But from the first half, Michigan came out ready to play from the jump, and they was letting them know we finna run some hard-nosed football. Cause this is like a surprising stat. The whole game, Michigan only had 32 yards passing for the whole game. These guys won a game of football in 2024 with only passing the ball for 32 yards. And they had a total of 290 yards rushing. Now, what I will say, that do worry me about USC. Can y'all stop the run? Because it was no surprise. This wasn't a surprise that Michigan was going to come in and try to run the ball. You guys know that Michigan can't pass. They didn't have no passing game. The quarterback, Alex Orji, 7 for 12, 32 total yards. You know they're not going to throw the ball. But yet, these people were still able to come away with 290 yards rushing. So that tells me that USC D-line might not be as good as I thought they was. I'm trying to collect my thoughts. But yeah, Khalid Mulligan, 17 carries, 159 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. And Donovan Edwards, 14 carries, 74 yards and 1 tutty. They had 322 total yards of offense, Michigan did. Like I told you, only 32 yards passing. And they was 4 of 15 on third downs. But USC, I don't know why I want to say UCF so bad. USC cannot get those guys off the field on 4th down. Michigan was 3 of 3 on 4th down. They converted every 4th down that they took. And also, they sacked Miller Moss 4 times. And like I told you before, that pick 6 was pivotal. If they didn't throw that pick 6 and they protected Miller Moss better, the USC would have easily had a win. And the reason I picked USC in this game, because I felt that USC had a passing game and their passing attack would be enough to get them over this hump, would be enough to, because the line of scrimmage, I would say the edge was to Michigan. I would give that edge to Michigan, but I ain't feel like it was that big of an edge to where they was going to come with 290 yards rushing. But my boy Joquavius Marks, running back for USC, had 13 carries, 100 rushing yards, and 7.7 yards a carry. And Zachariah Branch had a pretty decent game with 6 receptions and 98 yards. USC had 379 total yards of offense, had more total yards than Michigan did, and they had 283 passing yards on the day. I can't believe that they lost to a team that only had 32 yards passing on the day. Shout out to Michigan's defense, but shout out to USC for not finishing the game, not playing a complete game. That's really what happened. USC also had 17 first downs, man. 7 of 19 on third down. So Michigan played pretty decent or pretty fair when it came to getting on USC off the field. But what is mind-boggling to me also is USC had 73 plays to Michigan's 58, and Michigan still found a way to win this game. So shout out to the Michigan Wolverines. I'm kind of worried, to be honest with you, about Michigan Wolverines, because I don't see them running running over everybody, running up and through everybody just to get these wins. Now, this was a good win. If they play lesser competition, yeah, I'm pretty sure they can do that. But I don't see them making too much noise in the Big Ten if they can't pass the ball. And USC, I haven't lost that much, you feel me, confidence in USC. I just feel like they have some stuff to work out. They got to be more disciplined, and they got to take care of the football for one. And what I'm trying to say here. And if they give up this amount of rushing yards and more Big Ten games, they're going to have some trouble, though. I will say that. Because if you can't stop the run in the Big Ten, you got a high chance to lose. Rutgers, they got some trench bullies over there. You already know how Ohio State getting down. Oregon, they running game is a little nice. Who else over there? I can't think who else over there off the top of my head. But yeah, man, they gonna run the ball in the Big Ten. At USC, y'all gotta be prepared to stop that. If you can't stop that, it's gonna be a long season. And you guys gotta finish, man. You gotta finish. Defense, you gotta tackle, man. I also want to talk about the game that I thought I was gonna get. You feel me? I thought I was gonna get this upset, didn't get it. Georgia Tech loses 19 points to Louisville 31. Well, 31-19 Louisville over Georgia Tech. Let me say it that way, it sounds better. Hayes King, 21 for 32, 312 yards passing, 14 carries, 58 yards rushing, and a touchdown. Listen, man, Hayes King, he's a pretty decent player, but when he makes his mistakes, sometimes his mistakes bite Georgia Tech in the butt bigly. Malik Rutherford, 7 receptions, 113 yards, and Georgia Tech had 410 total yards of offense, 312 passing, 98 rushing. What I will say, I think Louisville got to Hayes King a little bit because the rushing yard look a little skewed. It would be a little bit more rushing yards than that. But I'm impressed how Georgia Tech was able to move the ball through the air. And mind you, the score might look a little misleading, but the game was a lot closer than that. A block field goal return really made this game closer than what it was. It would have been 24-19 at least. And a costly Georgia Tech fumble killed Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, they have to find a way to finish these games because they can compete with pretty much anybody in the ACC. They just gotta finish. They don't finish. Tyler Snug, 13-19, 269 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and Ja'Cory Brooks, the Alabama transfer, 4 receptions, 125 yards, and a touchdown. Louisville had 326 total yards of offense, 269 passing yards, and 57 yards rushing. 2 of 9 on third downs and had 7 penalties for 69 yards. Louisville, I don't feel that confident in Louisville after this game, if I want to be honest with you. The offense looked all right, but they can't run the ball. They came away with 57 yards rushing this game. And when they play Notre Dame this upcoming weekend, that's a game that I want to pick, But it's hard for me to make a definitive pick because I'm looking at that the same way I looked at USC versus Michigan. Michigan would be the Notre Dame, the team that doesn't have no passing attack whatsoever, and Louisville, the team that can pass the ball. You feel me? But running game may be a little iffy. Like Louisville remind me of the finesse team, and Notre Dame remind me of the team that's going to get it in the trenches, get it done in the trenches. But yeah, I was wrong on this one, man. I thought Georgia Tech could get it done, but they're so wishy-washy, man. I don't know, man. You feel me? Excuse me. But, like, in the comments, tell me, how do you guys feel about Louisville? Do y'all feel like Louisville is what everybody's hyping them up to be after watching this Georgia Tech game, if you've seen this Georgia Tech game? Because it was very competitive. Georgia Tech really stayed in this game and had a chance to win this game. Just had a few mishaps in the end. But that's all I got for that game. Those was the games I picked, you feel me? But one game I want to talk about before I get up out of here, I want to talk about Colorado versus Baylor. Colorado win 38, Baylor loses 31. Colorado win 38-31. I don't know why I keep saying it so naively. But yeah, Colorado get the dub. Basically won the game in the last 3 minutes. I ain't write much down. I just want to talk about this game a little bit because it was a very interesting, exciting game. But from what I want to say, whoever the Baylor defensive coordinator is, he should have been fired before the game was over with. Because how on God's green earth these people throw 2 Hail Marys? The first one you lucked up because the wide receiver dropped it. But the second one, you had a chance to be prepared for the second one. But no. You leave 2 or 3 guys over there on the island to try to deflect this pass or intercept this pass or whatever y'all want to do with it. You ain't have enough people over there. Why not tell everybody, hey man, y'all just sit in the end zone. I don't give a damn what they do in front of y'all. They have to score. Sitting in, I would have many defensive players in the end zone as I could. Shit, I probably had 1 defensive lineman on the damn line if I had to make sure these jokers don't score. You had one job. But you let these guys complete a historic Hail Mary, win the game, and then in overtime, your running back can't secure the bag. But good hit by Travis Hunter. Way to be a playmaker, Travis Hunter. Big time players make big plays in big time games. But we gonna see UCF and Colorado this weekend. It's gonna be live. It's gonna get funky. You feel me? I'm be talking about a few picks that I got for this weekend on my homeboy Truck and Chubb show. You feel me? On Fans Point of View. Y'all go over there, follow, like, share, and subscribe to my dog stuff. You know, like, share, and subscribe over here. And that's all I got for y'all for right now until, later on. So you feel me? Like I just said, like, share, subscribe. Me, your boys out. Go Canes. You did? Yeah, let me get that U in there. Yeah. Go Canes.